This is going to be a long one. I'm still mentally messed up over this whole situation, so I'll try not to jump around too much, but there's a lot to explain. Less than 2 weeks ago, I caught my wife sexting another man. She's 50. I'm 48. We've built a life together. A family. She claimed the guy was just an old friend from more than 20 years ago. They were messaging on Instagram and Facebook Messenger. At first, it was just catching up. Talking about the past. And then somehow, it turned sexual. Dirty messages. Nude photos. Explicit videos. I found all of it by accident. I went into her home office to buy something online. I wasn't snooping. Her computer was on, a browser window was open, and I saw a recent message thread with his name. I got curious. And my entire world collapsed. What shocked me the most wasn't just the sexting, it was the planning. They were actively talking about meeting in person to have sex. They discussed how she would lie to me. How their secret was safe. How she had already changed passwords on her devices. And how she had a girlfriend who would back up her story when she disappeared to meet him. That part still makes my stomach turn. Before I get to how I confronted her, there's important backstory about this guy. My wife told me she had reached out to him after hearing, through a mutual friend, that he had gotten sober and was now touring with a fairly successful band. She used to work in that industry, so she told me she was genuinely happy for him and just wanted to congratulate him. And like an idiot, I said, "That's great. Good for him." She even suggested that we go together to see his band play. Said he offered to get us backstage so we could meet and catch up. At first, it sounded fine. Then it started getting weird. She kept emphasizing that we'd be backstage late. That I needed to be outgoing and talkative, which I am absolutely not. She said I had so much in common with these guys. Looking back now, I see it clearly. Because in the messages I later read, she was telling him she needed to figure out a way to meet him without me being there. She told him how hot he was. How perfect he was. He asked her how his body compared to mine. Asked if she'd ever cheated on me. She told him sexual things she has never said to me in our entire marriage. They discussed which city on his tour would be easiest for her to sneak away to. She explained she had a friend in one city who would lie for her. And at the exact same time, in real life, she came to me and said, "Hey, I know you don't really like going to stuff like this, so if you want, my friend could go with me instead." That raised a red flag. I'm almost never let off the hook when it comes to things like this. I told her no. I wanted to go. And I remember how uncomfortable she looked when I said that. Around this time, she was also acting strange. Extra affectionate. Wanting sex far more than usual. Now I know why. She was getting aroused by him, and then coming to me to finish the job. When I finally found the messages, something snapped. I could hear my heartbeat in my ears while reading. I called her immediately. She was at the grocery store. She answered cheerfully, "Hey honey." I said, "Guess what? I found all your messages with him." Silence. Then the first thing she asked was how I got into her computer. It had been sitting there unlocked. She said she could explain. I hung up. She called back over and over. I kept hanging up. I said things I regret. I was furious. While I was doing that, she messaged him. Told him we were caught. Said she didn't know how much I'd seen, but that I'd seen enough. Told him to block both of us. And he did. At the time, I reacted on pure emotion. Now I wish I hadn't. Because part of me wishes I had waited to see if she actually went to that show, waited to catch her in the act, waited for undeniable proof. But what I already had was bad enough. When she got home from the store, she cornered me. Not physically, emotionally. She immediately launched into explanations. She said she did it because we don't go on dates. Because our sex life feels transactional. Because she's been wanting me to take her out, to show more passion, to make her feel desired. So in her version of reality, this was my fault. I told her that was bullshit. There have been plenty of times I've asked her to go out, and she's been the one too busy. Too tired. Too uninterested. Then she shifted again. She said he made her feel good. That he said the things she wanted to hear. That she'd had a crush on him years ago, and it was mutual. I don't doubt that his new success played a role too. She tried to minimize it. Said it could have been so much worse. That thankfully they never met in person. That's when I told her I had read everything. I told her she was literally planning to sleep with him. Her response. She claimed she had already called it off. The morning before I found the messages. She said she felt guilty and ended it. So I checked. Instagram. Facebook. There was nothing, not a single message, that supported that story. Then she changed it again. She said she was just stringing him along. That she liked the attention. That it made her feel desired. Meanwhile, I was falling apart. I didn't eat for almost a week. I barely slept, maybe 4 hours total across 5 days. I was visibly shaken, still working 10 to 12 hours a day, trying to function like a normal human being. I couldn't decide whether to leave her or not. We built a family together. She was my best friend. She was the last person on earth I thought would do this to me. My heart was completely broken. So I did the one thing that gave me temporary relief. I found his wife. They lived several states away, but I tracked her down. And I told her everything. I sent screenshots. Messages. Proof. She was devastated. And that made me feel horrible. But she deserved to know. She confronted him. Thanked me. And we stopped communicating. When I told my wife what I'd done, she was furious. She said, "Why would you do that to me?" She just wanted to forget the whole thing. I couldn't. Every time I brought it up, she said she couldn't keep doing this. She apologized for hurting me. And then immediately listed all the reasons why it was still my fault. Over and over again. So I told her the truth. If I'm such a horrible husband, then let's end this marriage. She can go find someone who treats her the way she thinks she deserves. She broke down crying. Said she loved me. Said she didn't want that. Asked how I could even suggest it. And then, the threat started. She said she wanted to hurt herself. More than once. That scared the hell out of me. I don't know if it was manipulation or real, but we have kids. I begged her to seek professional help. Told her seeing a psychiatrist was the bare minimum if we were going to even attempt to fix this. She started calling around. When she couldn't get an appointment right away, she contacted her primary care doctor and told them she was a danger to herself. That's when everything escalated. She was referred to a mental health facility. And she did not want to be there. She called me constantly, crying, begging to come home, saying she didn't feel that way anymore. While she was gone, I had full access to her phone and computer. And what I found made things even worse. While she was in the facility, I went through everything. Her phone. Her computer. Every account. And that's when I realized how deep this actually went. She hadn't just sent a few pictures. She had taken hundreds of photos and videos for him. Explicit. Intimate. Things I had asked her for in the past, things she had flat out refused to do for me. That realization hurt more than I expected. It made one thought impossible to ignore. I wasn't her desire. I was her security. Her provider. Her safety net. I copied everything. Messages. Photos. Videos. Not because I wanted revenge, but because I needed the truth preserved. In case I ever needed it. I checked her social media accounts. The guy was blocked, just like she promised. Eventually, she was released and came home. My first instinct wasn't anger. It was relief. I hugged her. Told her I didn't hate her. Told her she hurt me deeply, but I didn't hate her. I laid out rules. No secrets. No hidden accounts. No locked devices. No contact with him, ever again. Complete transparency. Marriage counseling. Psychiatric help. She agreed to all of it. She even seemed grateful. For most of that week, things felt good. We spent time together. Talked. Connected. We had a lot of sex. I later learned there's a name for that. Hysterical bonding. At the time, I told myself maybe this was survivable. Maybe it could have been worse. If I hadn't caught her, she probably would have slept with him, and I might never have known. Maybe this was the universe forcing the truth out before it was too late. Then came last night. We had sex twice. We laid in bed watching TV, cuddling. She showed me lingerie she bought just for me. She was casually scrolling on her phone, shopping apps, nothing suspicious. The phone was in plain view. Everything felt normal. Then she got up to get water and asked if I wanted one too. I said yes. A few seconds later, that familiar feeling hit me. That burning instinct in my chest. I followed her. And I caught her standing in her office, typing on a phone. When she saw me, she jumped. Flipped the phone face down. Locked it instantly. I asked what she was doing. She laughed. Said she was just checking a shopping app. I asked her to give me the phone. She refused. I grabbed it. She said it wasn't her regular phone, it was a spare. Different password. I demanded the password. She argued. I yelled. She finally gave it to me. I unlocked the phone. Facebook was open. And his name was typed into the search bar. My stomach dropped. I dug further. It wasn't even her real Facebook account. It was a fake one. A troll account. I asked her what the hell this was. She said one of her friends had called earlier and told her the guy had been kicked out of his band. She said she felt guilty. Responsible. That she just wanted to confirm if it was true. I asked her why she still cared. Why she would lie to me, knowing I was desperately trying to trust her again. She launched into another story. Said she felt bad because she might have ruined his marriage. Ruined his career. That he told her to delete everything and be careful. And she didn't. Blah. 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 I was done. I'm almost 50 years old. This isn't high school. I've lost sleep. Lost pride. Lost sanity. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't want to start over. I don't want to lose half of everything I've built. But I don't trust her. I thought she was my best friend. I thought she loved me. Now I just feel like a fool. And I hate this. At this point, I don't even know what I'm asking for anymore. Advice. Clarity. Permission to walk away. I've replayed everything in my head 1,000 times. Every excuse. Every lie. Every apology that somehow still ended with me being the problem. She says she loves me. She says she wants this marriage. But every time I start to feel safe again, I catch her hiding something. Another phone. Another account. Another reason why I'm misunderstanding things. I don't want to live like this. I don't want to police someone I married. I don't want to feel like a paranoid idiot in my own home. I'm pushing 50. I don't have the energy for games, secrets, or high school level drama. What hurts the most isn't even the sexting anymore. It's realizing that when things got hard, she didn't talk to me. She didn't fight for us. She escaped. And when she got caught, she didn't take responsibility. She blamed. She minimized. She hid again. I look at her now and I don't know who she is. I look at myself and wonder how I became this guy, suspicious, exhausted, hollow. I hate the thought of starting over. I hate the thought of losing half of everything I've built. But I hate the thought of living like this even more. I thought she was my best friend. I thought she loved me. Right now, I don't know what's real anymore.